welcome back to my channel here. We're going paperless and I'm outside enjoying this beautiful weather. I hope it's beautiful weather where you are. Most people would agree that if you are going to break a habit, it would be best to replace it with a new habit. And I agree with that. I think one of the biggest things with decluttering and organizing is having a place for things. So you had a place in your house, you had bags, you had filing cabinets. So for me, what's helped is using the cloud as a place to put things. Here are some different places where you can store documents and information. You can see here I have the Google Drive under Documents and Work, which is what I primarily use. I really use it for everything, but there are other apps that people find helpful. Evernote is very popular. There are options to scan directly to Evernote through the ScanSnap scanner that I mentioned in my last video. I'm sorry, that was in my first video and my last. And there's this other app called Pocket, again, similar to Evernote. Pinterest, of course, most people know of, just documenting mostly pictures and websites. Dropbox is similar to Google Drive, as is Apple Cloud. If you look now at this website, which is PC Magazine, you can see that PC Magazine actually has the Google Drive rated as #1. It has a 5-star rating. It has a number of free storage options, specifically up to 15 gigabytes is free storage. I have the 100 gigabyte plan, which is $1.99 a month. It has online editing. You can actually sync it to your desktop. I will show this more in detail. It is compatible with Windows, compatible with Apple. So I am going to advocate the Google Drive. Many people would agree with me, including PC Magazine. Okay, so I like to talk about elephants in the room. Storing online, we know there are pros. Going paperless, using the cloud improves efficiency, communication. You can access things on multiple devices, get less paper cuts, spend more time with people, not with paper. But let's talk about the cons. Okay, I know that people feel like there's potentially a security risk related to storing things online. And I just want to tackle this before I go into this more, before I lose some people's attention. In terms of the security risk, I just put here Google Drive and other online cloud services. They have encryption. They have the option to have multiple layers of security to log in to the storage online. And other products I've mentioned before, like Mint.com, QuickBooks, and TurboTax, also have encryption, and they have invested a lot of money in security, probably a lot more money than even looking at it on an individual level than we would ever want to invest. Most people, I would say, don't have safes. People I talk to, I'm surprised to hear that. And then if we do have safes, they're not large. We don't put everything in our safe. We use filing cabinets. So just keep in mind when you're using the cloud, these are large companies and there is some risk, obviously. But if you do backups and in addition to keeping things in the cloud, and if you realize that they have encryption, that is a good starting point to feeling secure about that. And now the moment that all of my friends who've seen me live have been waiting for. They've been waiting for me to get to more details about my Google Drive, and here we go. So here are the folders I have in my Google Drive. I'm going to start with cards, and I'm just going to do an overview, and I will go into more details in my next episode about some of these folders. In the cards folder, I have scanned different cards we've received from different people over the years, and I just have them in folders by the year. In the cars folder, I have our different vehicles. I have our auto ID insurance cards digitally, as they are not required to be printed anymore. I also have details on service history and things like that. Anything that seems pertinent related to those vehicles, and including the purchase information. The next folder here I'm going to highlight is CCGF. That just stands, those are the initials for our church. And in it, I just have information about the different groups and committees I'm involved with at church. The next folder is my husband's folder. His name is Chris. He has various items that he has like career-wise and otherwise in there. Christmas, I have our Christmas lists. I also put together Christmas calendars, so and Christmas cards as well. I put everything Christmas in here because I find it just, it works better for me that way. Then community activities. There's a club, a community club I'm involved with. I'm on head of a committee for that, and just any other political type community related items I put in here. Devotions and sermons. I have these categorized by church, our church, and then other churches we've been to, my Christian moms MOPS group, our small group, any retreats I go to, I do Google Docs with notes, and I also scan bulletins and put them in here. Finances, I have all of our tax returns. I have folders by year. I have also credit reports, different legal statements digitally, wills, that sort of thing, social security statements, retirement statements, etc. I also do estimated taxes for our family. I have a Google sheet on that, and just general financial planning I also put in here as well. Houses, we have our main house. We also have an investment property. So I just have different documents that are pertinent to our houses in here. I actually even have a folder on our plants. So whenever I get new plants, I document that. I take pictures of the little tags that are in the plant containers, and that goes in the houses folder. So insurance, I have a couple different types of insurance, as many of you do as well. So I have folders for all the different types: health insurance, life insurance, umbrella insurance, personal property, long-term disability, professional liability, etc. And I keep all those policies digitally in this folder. Kids, I will do another episode on this. This includes artwork, school forms, social security cards, that documentation for our kids. Both important documentation as well as just, like I said, artwork and other school forms. Manuals. In the manuals folder, I have my Marie Kondo MP3 files, which I can listen to, which I consider to be a manual on doing a lot of this. I have manuals for different appliances and electronic devices. I get them offline, online if I can, and save them, or I scan them in my scanner and put them in here. Rather than keeping what used to be tons of manuals, I don't keep as many, and if I do keep them, I keep them digitally. Medical records. I have folders for each member of our family, and those papers you get from the doctor's office, I just scan them and put them in here. I think you can get a lot of them online with the the doctor that you use, the medical system you use. But I like to have everything in one place, so I just scan mine and I put them in the medical records folder. Memberships. We belong to the Y. And if there's any other types of memberships, like to a museum, that sort of thing, I put those documents in memberships. Photos and videos. I have those by year. I scanned a photo from years past, going back to 2004. Right now it's 2017 when I'm making this video. And I also put some artwork in here and just put our portraits of our daughters that we've had professionally made, our wedding photos. I also use Google Photos, which I'll do a separate episode on, which I am using for my current photo taking. But for those items, those photos that were taken outside of my use of Google Photos, I put them here. Recipes. I put meal plans. I had all these sorts of recipe cards. I don't know about you, but I have had all sorts of random things, random clippings. I scanned them all. I tried to categorize them, and I put them in the recipes folder. ScanSnap, that relates to my scanner that I have showed before, and everything I scan there goes right to this Google Drive folder, and then I organize it. And then finally, vacations. When we went to Disney World recently, when we go different places, I just put a Google Doc together and put the information in here, and that way, for future reference, if we go to that place again or if I want to share it with someone, everything is in vacations. So this is a brief overview of my Google Drive, and if you have any questions, please put them in the comments below, and I will do a couple, at least 1 or 2 more episodes on specific folders and going into more detail. Thanks for watching.